Years ago, I used to live in a road called Mill Hill Road in Acton. Uh, my mum was lucky to get it from the council, big beautiful house. But up the top of the road was a school called Acton County, and Acton County was Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey used to go there. But I don't really remember them from school because there was a lot older than me. I might remember him, might see them walking by when I was a kid, but I can't remember. Yeah, and just down the road from where I lived, there, my sister used to play with a girl called Sally Gowan, and her dad had a big garage, and he's doing all sorts of cars and all that. And one day I'm going by there, and I popped in there to see him, and I said, look, any chance for a job? He said, doing what? I said, like cleaning the cars, uh, wiping it all down, going inside the car, cleaning it, do the engines, try and clean the engine, and teaching me how to be a mechanic. So he said, yeah, he was giving me silly money, but who cares about that money? I just wanted a little job. One day I was there, and a guy called Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend come in. Um, I know him from old, yeah. And he started to do all their cars. They love big cars, American cars, everything. He started doing. I know to clean the cars out, and Roger Daltrey used to give me a few pennies, and so Pete Townsend, and I loved it. You know what I mean? So anyway, I moved on. Didn't want the job no more, and I used to go down a place called South Acton, and I had my mates called Gary Jakeman, big family Jakeman, Keith Jakeman, Philip Jakeman, Sue Jakeman, big family. I used to be down there all the time. And those that lived in Vincent Road, by South Acton Station. Anyway, so up the top of the road for me was a Park Road North, and on the right hand side was a big fish place, yeah. That big lorries used to deliver fish, and there was a geezer in there called Alburhonour, you know. And I can always remember Alburhonour, mate. He was like this guy. His dad used to spoil him, you know. He had every car you could possibly name. He was a right good-looking guy, flash guy, but good-looking. Bit of a troublemaker. Could have a fight. It was even though how good-looking he was, he could have a right fight, yeah. And I remember Pete Townsend was a Daltrey, very close to him, yeah. But I think Roger Daltrey was their governor, because Roger Daltrey could have a right fight, He wasn't a geezer that stood a lot of shit. He could have a right fight. I've seen him have a few fights, yeah. As we go on, I'll tell you about him, yeah. So you got Roger Daltrey, Pete Townsend, and this guy called Alburhonour. They was very close. They was really, really close. There was so many cars. And I'm sure there was at it somewhere along the line, because they used to have so much money, yeah, buying all these motors. And as it moving on in my life, yeah, big bird, let's get big sentences and all that, yeah. And go away, come out again, go away, come out again. And I met my mate Mickey, and before that, really, Mickey was done the film called Vicar, and my mate Tony Lawrence, who I met in Chelmsford Prison, he wanted to kill Vicar because Vicar made him look a fool in the film, because Tony Lawrence was the guy with glasses, the bodybuilder, and Vicar made him an idiot. Not only did Vicar make him an idiot, but Vicar was the first one to get out of the hole in Durham Prison, and he left Tony Lawrence and just went, and no one else could get out, yeah. So he made Tony look like a fool, but when he got out, Tony Lawrence, and I met him, he wanted to kill Vicar bad, yeah. Anyway, so my cousin Adam Fath done the film with Vicar and Roger Daltrey, and it was a great hit film, and I was gutted really, because my cousin Adam Fath never got hold of me to learn about prison, But who else could he get hold of? But the actual guy who done the escape, the guy that was in prison, was Vicar. So Vicar, obviously, so told them all about prisoners and what he was and what he wasn't and all this, that and the other. So he was a better man to see than me. But I was still gutted, you know. So Vicar was very, very lucky to be alive because Tony Lawrence went one day to do Vicar, and Vicar was very lucky that he wasn't running around Battersea Park because he had been running around Battersea Park. I think he got a bullet in his head. You know, Tony Lawrence was a bit of a fucking nut, and Vicar was very lucky. But anyway, I used to knock about with a guy called Nobby Griffiths. Well, Nobby Griffiths was a guy was very, very close to my mate Mickey Gooch, yeah? Very close. And they used to go out Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays to all the clubs. Nobby Griffiths was a stonemason, yeah? And he is absolutely had fortunes. He lived in this massive big house, you know, and it was all done in flats. And Mickey Gooch's bird, Val, she lived in one of the flats. And I used to go out of that lot every weekend in a black Bentley, go out and look after all of them, all the clubs, you know, Power Joey's, Fidenzi's, Bootleggers, Browns, all these big clubs. I used to be with them, looking after them, you know, be out for sometimes 3-4 days. And I remember going down, I think it was Browns, and going down with Nobby Griffiths, my mate Mickey, and he was there, Roger Daltrey. Well, you wouldn't think Roger Daltrey, being the way he is, he isn't a very big guy. He's quite muscular. He's, you know, very thin but muscular sort of guy, wiry sort of guy. Could have a fight, you know. I didn't think that this guy, Roger Daltrey, was a handful, yeah. So there was me, Pete Townsend was there, Mickey, Gary. I don't think Gary was there. Nobby Griffiths. About 10 of us there, yeah. And someone got a bit leery with Roger Daltrey over the film at Vicar, right? And Roger Daltrey, I see Roger Daltrey hit this geezer. He knocked this geezer spark out. And this geezer was maybe twice the size of Roger Daltrey. And I was took back, mate. I went, wow, this geezer can have a work fight. He's no fool, you know what I mean? Roger Daltrey. And I hold my hands up to him, yeah? As I say, we used to go back to Nobby Griffiths' house in Chiswick and go there, say, Saturday night, stay there Sunday, Monday, even Tuesday sometimes. Big pool, swimming pool in the back garden, loads of women, packed with women. And Roger Daltrey, all these girls used to be round Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend 24/7, never left them alone, yeah? I was there, you know, I was very jealous, you know what I mean, because they was all around Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend. You know, like later on in your life, you look back at it, you think, oh, and I let my life go, mate. My life went, and you know, and they all wanted me as a bodyguard. And they all liked me as a guy, yeah. And I was a big lump, 22 stone, powerful, can have a right fight, yeah. And they all wanted me with them, but I go like an idiot, went right the opposite way, started going back on the pavement, yeah, as you do, trying to get quick money. But Roger Daltrey and my cousin, Adam Fath, when they done Vicar, it just took me back, mate. You know, I thought, wow. You know, like how slow I was to get hold of my cousin. I know he had went Vicar to do the film, you know, to show him everything, but I was a little bit slow. I should have got in there before, you know. My cousin, Adam Fath, his real name is Terry Nellums, very close with me, Mattel. He was close, but more close was his brother, Roger. Roger was a gangster, well, a proper gangster villain, Roger. He used to do some things, mate, you know, years and years ago. I was only a kid, I don't know, young. And we got into Sean Connery's house, James Bond, and nicked some guns as a kid. I was only young. Nicked some guns, give it to Roger. Roger sawed them up, sawing the shotguns, and they were Purdy and Purdy or something like that, something really ridiculous prices. But as kids, you don't know what you got. You don't know what you're going to do, yeah? And, you know, just, it's not a quick, it's quite, I think it's quite a good story, you know, about was a Daltrey and Pete Townsend. And then there was a big thing about Pete Townsend with the kids and all this and all that and the other. And, you know, anything to do with kids and all that, I got a bit funny about it because me being sexually abused as a child, you know. So I wasn't too happy about it. So I went to Richmond, walked up Richmond Hill, Mick Jagger's house on the left-hand side, and across the road from Mick Jagger's house, Pete Townsend lives on the corner house, not far from the Star and Garter Hotel. And, you know, like, and just waiting outside for this Pete Townsend to come out like an idiot, you know what I mean? What am I going to do? Shoot him, kill him? But you know, it is just, yeah, man, there was always people out there, photographers, waiting for him to come out of the house, you know. Lovely house, mate, massive house. And what I might do one day next week, I'm going to go down to Richmond again, have a walkabout, show you a few houses, show you Mick Jagger's house, and also show you Pete Townsend's house, and have a walk around maybe Richmond Park, you know, show you, and there's a big ballet school in Richmond Park, yeah? Massive London School of Ballet School. You would never think it's there. It's one beautiful building. It's massive. It's really, and someone lives, I think it's Kent, is it Lady Kent or something? She lives in the park. The rumours have it, yeah, that in Richmond Park, there's a tunnel. Listen, I'm only telling you because a girlfriend of my girl that I was living with, Danny Johnson, she worked in the park, right, with all the horses for that lady, whatever, Kent or whatever it was, for all the horses and all that. And she was saying, yeah, there's a big part of Richmond Park that's all fenced up. You can't get in it, yeah? That there's a tunnel that goes from there to Buckingham Palace. Yeah, or it is what it is. It's, you know, like it's from Buckingham Palace. If there's trouble, they must come through to Richmond Park, and that's, I mean, I must be. It's a proper road under there, where they got proper what you call it, the vehicles that move around to take from one end to the other end. Yeah, this is what my ex told me, Danny, and you know, I'm not who am I to say it's a lie, you know what I mean? But where she did take me, my Danny, she took me to the place where it's supposed to be. You can't get in there. It's you know, you just can't get in. It's virtually impossible. Yeah, it's all like fenced up. There's trees everywhere and bushes, and it's all secured up like you wouldn't go out of fashion. You couldn't get in it. But round the corner from there is the big house, the ballet, London School of Ballet place. That's beautiful. That's some beautiful build. You'd never walk in Richmond Park and think that place is there. I'll take you there. I'll take you to the tea house in Richmond Park. The tea house, when I used to work for King Fath from the Arab Emirates, yeah, in Hamgate, he wanted to buy the tea house in Richmond Park as one of his dwellings. And that house in Richmond Park, the tea house, is absolutely stunning. I'll take you there anyway and show you it. Richmond Park is massive, but there's so much in there, you'd miss the roads going round, you miss it. But if you're walking around inside the park, you see all that, and it's so beautiful, man. There's so much to see. Yeah, going back to was a Daltrey, you know, and he was a proper guy, was Daltrey. He can have a right fight. He wasn't a fool. My cousin Terry Nellums, Terry Nellums or Adam Faith could have a right fight too. It's being brought up. My cousin Adam Faith, Terry Nellums, was brought up in a place called the Val Acton, and the Val Acton was a rough place. Yeah, all people did there was fight. You know, it was a very close friend of mine that I don't say too much about it. A guy called Freddie Green, Tommy Green. Big Tommy Green was, he killed someone and buried a body under the patio. I think he's got about 30 years. He's out now, Tom. But we was all big friends at one time. Tommy Green, Freddie Green, Val Green, Jackie Green, my sister's friends, Yeah, and there used to be a rough house right now. It's just around the corner. And every house in the Val flats, Acton, boys, mate, could have a right fight. It was all about fighting in Acton Val. And they had big gangs in there, as kids. And I remember all this. But anyway, it's just a little story about Roger Daltrey. How I met Roger Daltrey, and Roger Daltrey can have a right fight. But I think it was definitely Browns where he knocked that guy out in Browns. It was definitely Browns. I was there, and it was up. Yeah, it was definitely Browns that he hit the geezer on the chin, mate, and the geezer just went bump straight over. But as I say, he could have a right fight with Daltrey. You wouldn't think so, but he could, and he had long hair down. His hair was down to his shoulders. Then was the Daltrey, but my best mate there was Mickey, and Nobby Griffiths. Nobby Griffiths, mate, nice guy. Nobby Griffiths, I think he gave his son the big house around the corner. He now lives around the corner from the big houses in an absolutely stunning villa he had built in a private road. It's a private driveway in there, big gates. I've never been in there. I was told it's got massive swimming pool. Nobby Griffiths loves a life. He lives his life the right way, yeah. And they used to all go in there. Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey, Mickey. But I've never seen it. I was always in fucking prison. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, bang bang bang, nice one.